everybody, and welcome to another edition of Get Sweaty, our weekly top 5 show over here on the Schmoes of the North Network. I am your friendly neighborhood soda, joined as always by one of my co-hosts, Ben Big Fudge Rayner. How you doing today?
Good. I'm doing good. Excited about this one because we have a special guest.
And I will let you introduce this special guest, Ben.
This special guest is my really good friend, Andrew, high school. How are you doing, Andrew?
I'm doing good. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, glad to have you on. As you can see, 50 Shades of Geek's not here. I think he slept, which is a common occurrence for some people on here on the show, mostly named Daniel, but that's what happened last night. I don't know if you checked our chat, but he's like, yeah, I fell asleep and then I woke up as, oh shit, it's my niece's birthday party. It's like,
yep, I saw that. I saw that. Now that I'm in that chat, I saw that.
Yep. So Andrew, since this list was your idea, we like to get the guests to introduce the list. So would you please introduce it to the audience?
All right. So I was talking with Ben, I believe by text, or maybe it was by video. I don't remember. But we were chatting, and I suggested to Ben an idea I had, where, in our past and even nowadays, we always think about shows, movies, games, even different media that we wish were created, as a TV show or a movie or whatever, like spin-offs, sequels, just random ideas you've had that you wish someone made. So I suggested to Ben a top 5 list for that.
It's a great idea, and like I said, I was sitting here this morning, and some of the names that just what I like to do is the day of the show is when I do my list, because that's when I get the most inspiration. So I sit here in this room, and I'm like, okay, what can I pull? And the names that just came off my list were like onto my list were like, these are genius. Like this is a great list, and I can't wait to talk about some of these characters. So as our guest, would you like to go first, starting with your number 5?
Sure. All right. Well, then, my number 5 is based off. Technically, it's based off of a video game, but the source material is based off of movies. I would love to see a show based off Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Okay. Which we're kind of getting, but not
really.
really.
I've never heard about it.
Well, no, the High Republic is kind of their.
I'm talking about like 1,000 years in the past.
Yeah, okay. I'm confusing the two properties then. Okay. Actually, that's something that a lot of people have been clamoring for, and I'm actually surprised they haven't put anything into motion yet.
Yeah. Though I wouldn't mind also even farther back to the origins of the Jedi.
That would be good. It would be good to watch.
Basically about the history of Star Wars, really. If you know what I mean.
It would be great to watch. It's just that's one. It's just like, oh boy, there's going to be a lot of discourse on that subject in the Star Wars community.
Because some of the books and other materials that they mention things about the past there's differences in how the Jedi Order is structured. There are codes and everything, especially because some materials based off of the books that were created. Give certain origins to the Jedi, how basically it kind of like the original order split into the Jedi and the Sith. So, and Disney kind of likes to twist things around from what was the books. So,
well, yeah, because I mean, their stance is the books are not canon, right? So they can mold it however they want.
So,
Ben,
I'm not sure how it would turn out if someone actually came and gave it to us.
I would want to see that too. Would you want to see that as a movie or as a series?
I think a show actually for that.
At this point,
it's too much of a big gap of time to just make it a movie.
But not just that, their shows have been killing it. Like you have all that time to flesh out the characters, like you did with Mandalorian. I think that would be a great concept as a miniseries.
Speaking of Star Wars, did you guys see who's going to be Ahsoka Tano show?
Yeah, and what I love is that everyone's happy about this finally.
Yeah.
Anakin Skywalker himself, Hayden Christensen, is going to appear in the Ahsoka Tano show. The dude, he deserves it from all the shit that he got from the prequels, which was not 100% his fault. I'm happy that fans are happy that he's coming back to see how he could really do Anakin Skywalker.
I think I might get hate for this. I don't care. Bring on the hate. I think the sequel trilogy made people appreciate and like the prequel trilogy.
That's not a hot take. I have heard that a lot.
I can see that.
And there are in some cases where I have seen people say that in Facebook groups I've been in stuff where they said the sequel trilogy made them appreciate the prequels more.
Because when you look at it, 1 through 6, it's a complete story.
Mm-hmm.
It tells one story from beginning to end. The sequels didn't have a plan. Let's be honest. They didn't have a plan.
No, they just went in guns a-blazing and said, hey, it's Star Wars. People will buy it.
Yeah.
Do I hate the
It
movies?
didn't flow smoothly with the others. Yeah, that's true.
I do enjoy the sequel trilogy, but outside of Force Awakens and Rogue One, I don't really revisit them all that much.
Yeah, same here.
All right, Ben, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is from the TV show that Giff did. It's an X-Men show. I might have mentioned it before.
Yeah, I've heard of the show for sure. Yeah, I never saw it, but
it's about a group of recurring characters that came in season 1, but really came in season 2. It's the Frost sisters.
Emma and what's the sister's name?
Yeah.
The Cuckoos. Esme, Phoebe, and Sophie.
Never seen the show, so yeah.
They're identical triplets who have like telepathic minds who can make people do whatever they want. They have a hive mind.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like there's something there. I really would like to see the backstory. They were really cool in those shows.
Especially considering in the comic books what their origin story is.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they're like clone daughters of Emma Frost.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
there's a lot of Marvel that I'm not familiar with because I am, as much as I do love like Edward Ricker's run of Captain America and I love the Deadpool stuff, I'm more of a DC guy for comics.
I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is them, and yeah, I do think like I think a show would be better, but come on, Lord, here we go. I do think a show would be better, like a prequel show focusing how what their early life was like would be fun to me, I think.
I never asked you, Ben, about something for that show, for Gifted, about the Frost sisters. Did they just use the same actress for 3 different roles?
Yeah, okay. One actress for 3 roles.
It must have been tricky to play 3 different characters all at the same time. Wow.
Yep.
Okay, so my number 5. Who here has seen Sing Street? So just me. Okay, there's a character in there. He's my favorite character in the movie. His name is Eamon. He's the best friend of the main character. Mm-hmm. He's the one that does a lot of the musical arrangements for the music in the movie. What I want to see is a sequel movie about. Okay, so basically the movie ends. They do the big concert. The main 2 characters, they split. They get on a boat and try to immigrate to England by crossing the channel. I want to see the aftermath of that, of all the chaos they cause of the school, but I want to see it through Eamon's eyes. And I want to see the reunion with him and Connor Lawler, who's the main character, and to see how much has changed and what happened to Eamon in the aftermath of the events of Sing Street. I think it would be kind of fun because essentially the other members of the band are left to pick up the pieces. They're left to deal with the pissed off principal that they made fun of at the concert. They're left to deal with Connor leaving everybody. Like, I want to see what happens with him because he's a funny character. He's got pet rabbits. He's a very quirky character. I want to see how he handles that and see if maybe it will how much it changes him. I highly recommend watching the movie, by the way. I really do.
I remember hearing about this movie. It's not that old, right? Like maybe 5 years.
5 years, maybe
Yeah.
5-6 years. It came out after I moved back to my hometown, so it was about 5-6 years ago. Highly recommend watching it. Great movie.
Right.
Into that.
But that was my number 5. I just want to see how this character deals with the aftermath and see if he keeps his usual quirky demeanor or if it changes him. But that's just me. All right, Andrew, what is your number 4?
All right, my number 4. I wouldn't be surprised if Ben punts this one, but I'm gonna shoot for it. It is a Lost spin-off based on Hurley and Ben characters.
Oh,
Not on my list.
and I've never seen Lost, so hey.
They kind of teased that there was adventures that beyond the main story at the end of Lost with the two characters, Hurley and Ben, who are basically the remaining caretakers of the island. Spoiler alert, sorry.
I don't care for spoilers for something that's been done for 15 years.
But yeah, so they tease it, but they never actually do anything with it beyond some like little scenes in the box set, I guess, that they hint at. But yeah, that would be, I think, a really interesting topic because it's just like they just prepared it to transition into a sequel, but they never did anything with it.
Yeah.
Or spin-off, I mean, yeah.
They can do some really cool stuff with it, two of them. We can see them recruit a whole new bunch of people from the island. We can see them go off the island. I think Hurley said to Ben, we're not supposed to leave the island, but Ben said, you're in charge now. We can make new rules. Yeah, I'm with you. I want to see those new rules.
So basically, it's kind of like they're what the Red Skull was in Infinity War. They're like the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
But mostly Hurley. Ben is just an assistant to Hurley at this point.
That can be really fun.
Yeah, no, I know it's a show I've gotta watch, and I know Ben's gonna get me. I think isn't that the show we're doing after Doctor Who?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I put Doctor Who. I think it's only fair. Yeah, it's only fair.
Good.
And it's not that I don't want to watch it. It's just when it was big, it was just something I was not interested in, and it wasn't streaming for a long time up here that I was aware of. So it kind of fell out of my wayside until I became friends with these guys.
Same thing with me. I didn't watch it live. Ben had the box set, and he just convinced me to start watching it, and
nice.
I got hooked from watching it.
Yeah, that's what I hear. It's a show that gets you hooked really quick. It's on Disney Plus up here, so
I'm a little lucky in a way. I didn't have to wait weeks on weeks.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
All those episodes.
Yeah, I can see how that would be frustrating, especially after the end of his season. From all the good writing I hear.
Yep.
Yeah, they like to give you cliffhangers on that show.
Okay. So Ben, what is your number 4?
I doubt it's going to get content, but it might. Jefferson from Once Upon a Time. If you don't know that character, it's played by Sebastian Stan.
Oh, yeah.
He was a Mad Hatter.
Mad Hatter.
In the Enchanted Forest.
Great character. Great character.
He was an awesome character. The reason we didn't get more of him, the actor went on to do a little thing called the MCU. So...
Yep.
Can't really be upset about that, but at the same time, I would have loved more with this Matt Haddock character.
So it's been a long time since I've watched the show, so I do remember the character, but could you just remind me about his origins? If I'm not mistaken, it has something to do with his daughter?
Yeah, his daughter. The Queen, the Evil Witch, whatever you want to call her, she made a trap for him that separated his daughter in the Enchanted Forest, and that's what made him go mad. He was always trying to find a way to go back home to his daughter.
Okay.
But in the early seasons, you had your fairy tale life and you had your modern life.
Which was such a great storytelling device.
Oh, it was awesome. And in the modern life, he had both sets of memories. which continued to make him mad.
Yeah, he wasn't he the only one?
Yeah, he was the only one. So give me a miniseries with this character, and I will be happy.
That's
And
a great one I never would have thought of because, like I said, it's been a long time since I've seen the show. But great choice.
Yeah,
because you're right. The way they set that character up, there's so much rich stuff that you could mine from that.
I mean, he's the literal character that has access to just anywhere.
He's kind of there. I'm trying to. I've seen other characters like him. It's kind of like almost like a god character in a way, where they remember both worlds. It's kind of like what we get with the companions in Harry and Doctor Who after.
Yeah, he's literally like the Doctor. Technically, he can literally travel to Doctor goes anytime. He goes to any universe.
Yeah.
And he can bring people with him. I'm sorry. Didn't you say your number 4, Andrew?
Yeah, I did.
His was Lost.
Lost, yeah.
I'm sorry.
And in that time, Ben himself got lost.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Okay, my number 4 is probably my most fun one on the list.
Ooh.
I liked what these characters did so much in their only movie. I want to see them give the same treatment to other Greek myths in Disney. I want to see spin-off movies with the muses telling the stories of Odysseus and Jason and all the other heroes in the same style they did as Disney's Hercules. I think that would be fun.
The moment you started saying the Greeks, and then I was thinking, is he going to mention Hercules right now?
Oh yeah, I love the Muse. I love the song Zero to Hero. I love everything about that movie. It's one of my favorite Disney movies, but the Muses in particular, I think they could bring that particular brand of storytelling and transpose it to other myths because there's a lot of rich myths that you can mine from Greek mythology.
Greek mythology is awesome
I love one of my favorite books to read is I love the Percy Jackson series, but it's Percy Jackson's Greek Gods because it's the recounting of the Greek myths, but told by Percy Jackson. It's amazing. But yeah, that's my number 4 because like I said, a lot of good stuff you could mine from there. So you could do like Odysseus, you could do Jason and the Argonauts, you could do Troy, you could do why am I blanking on
Medusa storyline,
like Jericho. There's just so much you could do. But that's my number 4.
Funny when you said Hercules, I thought you were going to go with Pain and Panic.
I don't think that would be fine. It's just I don't know if you could get enough out of them. Whereas the muses are used as narrators.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
But you're right. Pain and Panic would be a fun one because Matt Frewer and Bobcat Goldthwait were gold in that movie.
Oh God, is that who played them? Wow.
Yeah, Matt Frewer and Bobcat Goldthwait. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right. So, Andrew, what is your number 3?
All right. This might be punted by either of you two, actually, I believe you're a fan as well, Soda. My number 3 is a spin-off of the show Castle.
Oh, I did not put anything on Castle, but I was thinking about it.
And it would star Ryan and Espo.
That's who I was thinking of. Was Ryan and Esposito.
Yeah, I thought me and Ben have talked about that idea for a long time. That Ryan and Espo making a spin-off show would probably fly really well.
Yeah, for sure. Because at this point, I don't think you can get Nathan Fillion and Stana Katic together in the same room, unfortunately. But yeah, Ryan and Esposito, I think would be great. Like one of my favorite scenes to watch, Ben, you sent it to me a couple weeks ago, was when it's revealed that Ryan accidentally shot Esposito in the ass.
I knew you were going to say that. I was literally going to say that the perfect example of their interactions is Crackshot Ryan and Esposito.
Yep. Oh God, yeah. No, there's some of the highlights of the show for fucking sure, especially when they're together with Castle. Oh my Lord.
Uh-huh.
I would want a detective show focusing on them, make them. It's not their own PI firm. That would be awesome.
That'd be interesting, also.
That would be. Creators, book it. And that is one I know we're gonna have to do on Shooting the Breeze. As much as I hate that final season, I'm willing to do it.
You mean recapping?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the reason why I hate that final season is one, because of how it ended. Like it ended so abruptly, and then B, to find out that all the personal stuff going on is what altered the show. It's like, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Could you be professional?
With that, did that only come up in the final season?
It came out during the final season, but that's why a couple seasons prior they had Castle split off and do the private investigator thing, is because they were not getting along on set.
I felt like the show, like the moment, like like when Castle, like what was it? I think it was like season 6 or something, where Castle disappears for a little bit.
Yeah, that would be what's
Wait, no.
No, it would have been season 6 because they were supposed to get married in the final season of, I think, season 5, and that's when he gets abducted.
Right.
Yeah. So I remember that happening, and it was just like I felt like the show kind of started like slipping off just at that point.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Once all that stuff started to happen, that's when it jumped the shark, quote unquote.
I mean,
I
mean, the show definitely had its really wonderful moments, even in that last part of it. Like, it had some episodes that were still really, really good.
Yeah, but, for sure. The first 4 seasons, everything leading up to when they finally got married.
Yeah,
great. And I just did a little bit of digging, but it turns out like they got along during the first couple seasons, but sometime around season 4 is when. And they started avoiding each other.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It which is terrible because their on-screen chemistry, like you could ignore it. They were wow.
Yeah, I know. I absolutely loved them.
Oh, me too. I love that show, but that final season just fucking ruined it for me.
Yeah, I know.
For me,
I feel like they already together before that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so much the final season, it was the final episode. It was a final scene because it came out of nowhere.
It did, and the reason why is because it got canceled out of nowhere after they fired Stanakotic.
Right.
Which is this. We'll save that for recapping because
it's a topic that's going to be its own thing. If
100%.
On it.
Hey, look who's awake.
Pay no attention to the men behind the counter.
Okay. Anyways. Glad you could join us, 50. Sorry for spamming your Facebook Messenger with 12 gifts.
Sorry for being late.
It's okay. We figured you were asleep. We know you did the all-night taco stand the other day and stuff. So, I mean, when you're on the other side of the world, it's perfectly okay. But you're lucky. We've only done our first 2 picks. So, since I just finished my 4 and we were going to go into Andrew's 3, let's have you tell us your 5 and your 4 first, and then we will continue from there.
Okay, but could I ask for a bit of a recap first?
Okay. So, Andrew, who was your number 5 and your number 4?
All right. My number 5 was a TV series based off of Star Wars: The Old Republic, like 1,000 years in the past of the Star Wars movies.
Oh, we're doing that? My approach to this was, if it's already been done in some form or another, I wasn't gonna. Oh,
that's
okay.
how my approach is too. For the most part. Hey, Jess.
Hey.
And my number 4 was a Lost spinoff. With the main stars being Curly and Ben from Lost.
I can see why you're a friend of Ben.
Yeah.
We watch a lot of the same stuff. We actually would watch it at his place often before everything happened.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, and Ben, you're number 5 and you're number 4.
The Frost Sisters. I'm a gifted. I want a prequel series about them. And Jefferson from Once Upon a Time.
The Mad Hatter, Sebastian Stan.
Oh, I forgot his name was Jefferson.
Me too.
Okay. Of all the characters from Once Upon a Time, I wouldn't have singled out that guy, but okay.
Well, we didn't get enough of him. But what we did got, I love.
Yeah, and he was one of the better characters of that season, and he had to go and become the Winter Soldier. Go figure.
Yeah,
Went on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, he got upgraded.
Okay,
Yeah.
and my number 5 and my number 4. So my number 5 is I want to see a sequel movie to Sing Street about the aftermath of the final concert, but told through the eyes of Eamon, the best friend, because I love that character. And number 4, you're gonna dig this. I want to see Disney Plus original movies of Greek mythology as told by the muses from Hercules.
Nice. Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Because you can actually make a different one for all of them.
exactly.
An
There's so
anthology
many-
series.
Exactly. It's I'm surprised they haven't done it.
Yeah.
Okay,
But to be fair, the list of ideas they could do,
right.
they probably just haven't gotten to that yet. Okay, my number 5, I'm gonna start it off with a bit of a simple one. Can we just bring the Flintstones back?
They tried.
I mean-
They did try.
Okay, I didn't know that,
Well,
but
you didn't. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a little bit of a background to that. It never actually got anywhere, but Seth MacFarlane had been given the green light to actually do a Flintstones style show. Flintstones show.
okay. And it fell apart. Why?
They just couldn't get it to work.
Okay, that's a
They were
shame.
trying to do it in the Family Guy type of vein. Just couldn't work.
Yeah, I mean, if you're bringing back the Flintstones, you gotta bring them back as they are, as they're supposed to be. You can't Family Guy it, which is why I got excited when you said Seth MacFarlane, but now I know why it fell apart, because he wanted to Family Guy it. And I mean, dude, you already have Family Guy. You should know that. Just do the Flintstones.
Yeah, Greek mythology is great for that type of show. Sorry,
it's
keep going. 50.
Very deep. But yeah, I mean, we just brought back the Animaniacs. Why not the Flintstones? That was my reasoning for it.
No, I mean, you could easily translate that to nowadays if you do it.
Yeah,
right.
it's still very relevant.
Well,
And, My
It's
number four, something that I actually wanted for a very long time, ever since I first read those books in high school. I want a prequel to Harry Potter, not the Fantastic Beasts, but it's set specifically around Harry's parents.
The Marauders or something like that.
Yes, I actually was looking at a list of characters that should get it, and the Marauders was one of those. Was on one of those lists.
I'm not okay. I wasn't specifically referring to the Marauders, but more so the relationship between Lily and Snape,
Oh,
as explored in the memories when Harry goes into the Pensieve and sees all the deep history between his mother and Snape, and then his father came along with Sirius and his other friends. You don't have to go the Harry Potter route of just making it 7 movies for 7 years, because frankly, unlike the Harry Potter years, not much happening during those times at Hogwarts. So I could definitely see this as a trilogy, where the first one is them as really young kids where they met. The second one is in their middle area when they're becoming teenagers, and the last one is their final year at Hogwarts. That could, or rather, their second to last and final year at Hogwarts. That could work.
Though I mean, there probably is some stuff going on in the background. I mean, that was the rise of Voldemort's power at that time. Like Snape literally joined the Death Eaters during his school year.
But what I was going for is, in Harry Potter, you have, this year he has to get past a 3-headed dog and go through this huge crash course of other teachers putting traps to fight Voldemort. And this year he has to fight a giant snake that's killing people. And this year he has to find an escaped prisoner and there's a werewolf running around. So every year there's something big and major happening around. In those years, specifically at Hogwarts, there wasn't too much happening. So that's what I was going for. And you can also, because the Triwizard tournament happens once every 5 years, I think, you could see how Harry's parents went through that. I can't even remember which year they were in.
Wait, the Triwizard tournament? I thought it was a canceled tournament from like a long time ago.
it was the Triwizard Tournament was from way before there.
Really?
their time. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something
Yeah,
was
that-
It was like
resurrected
100
like
years.
after like because someone like too many people were dying from it.
That's why it was a big deal when they brought it back and got it.
Okay, so well, full disclosure, I haven't started my binge of the 4th book yet. I stopped after the 3rd one for the Doctor Who stuff, but whatever. That's my number 4.
No, I'm being curious. Maybe one of you knew. No. What house was Thomas Wayne in? Because we know Bruce Wayne was in Hufflepuff. So what house was Thomas Wayne in?
Wait, what? Did I miss
How do
something?
we know Thomas Wayne is in Hufflepuff?
Yeah, how do we know Bruce Wayne's in there?
That's where Cedric Diggory was. And Cedric Diggory was played by Robert Pattinson.
Okay, then. So which Thomas Wayne then? We can use Jeffrey Dean Morgan because he is the more famous.
Yes, yes.
Fuck. You know what? If I'm honest, if we're gonna use him as John Winchester from Supernatural, I put him in Gryffindor
Okay.
Yeah.
because he reminds me a lot of that group where they're saving the world, but they're putting each other at risk doing it. I think John Winchester would be in Gryffindor, whereas Negan, like Slytherin.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I would even argue that Batman himself is a Slytherin because, yeah, rich boy, spoiled, dead parents. He's kind of got a lot of the criteria.
Okay. I didn't have to ask. I'm sorry.
Oh no, of course, it's a valid question, and it made me think a little bit.
All right, so who's
Now we're
number
at
three?
it's your number 3.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
So it's your number 3 because
Sure,
I
I
actually
caught up
said
with
my number 3 before, which was just before 50 joined. It was the Castle spinoff for Ryan
Right.
Ernesto.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so
So
my
now
Castle
number three.
Ben. Huh?
Me?
Yeah, have you ever seen the show Castle?
No, I've heard of it though.
If you like Nathan Fillion, you'll like the show.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm actually, just for shits and giggles, actually might start rewatching it because I've been really, really wanting to watch it, and now that it's streaming and I don't have to pull out my DVDs, I can do it.
Recapping the past.
That's coming down later in the pike after
Yeah.
Lost. So in about a year.
The only problem is finishing it at the end.
Anyways, Ben, what is your number 3?
Okay, my number 3 is a prequel. Some of you might know this, some of you might not. It's going to be a comedy series about one character. Have any of you seen Wedding Crashers?
Of course.
I want a prequel of Chaz.
Fuck, as soon as you said Wedding Crashers, I knew you were gonna go the Will Ferrell character.
Oh
Yes.
my god. They have him. It can be a limited season, a series for 5. One season, him getting crashing, every episode can be a different wedding. Show him doing that, put it on Peacock because it's a Universal movie, make it mature, not see that.
I can one up that. A mock reality series where Chad crashes real weddings.
Oh. And you know what's the perfect name for a show like that?
What?
Crushing Weddings.
Oh,
It's a play on Wedding Crashers. It's Crashing Weddings.
Yep, that's my number 3. I didn't think that would be so fun. So fun.
That's the kind of role like I like Will Ferrell. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not a big fan of him as a leading actor. I think those are the type of roles, or an ensemble role like in Anchorman, where he shines.
Yeah, I'll go with you on that.
Oh God, yeah, great gift.
Okay, so no, you're number 3.
So this one I got an inspiration from a movie I watched 2 weeks ago. Well, not a movie. It's more pantomime that's on YouTube called I can never remember the name. Vicious, I think. Jess, if you're in the comments, correct me. But this one I would like to see a version of Wicked but about Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean, and it's about how he became Davy Jones, about the love story with Calypso, where he's the good guy, but all the events still happen the same.
That sounds good. It's to bring it back to what something we said earlier. It really does sound like a Once Upon a Time thing.
Yeah, and I think you could easily do it because the characters in that are so great. You bring on the writers that you've had previously; they could easily knock one out of the park. But I think it's a great way to go about it because we know he became Davy Jones as we know him because of his love for Calypso. I want to see how he got to that point, but done by way of Wicked.
And by way of a musical.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. And that would be good.
Yeah.
So,
and of course, Bill Nighy has to play Davy Jones.
Of course.
Even as human form, even though he's like 70.
Makeup and prosthetics. I mean,
Or get
Davy Jones is kind of immortal.
Ageless.
That's right. DH. You could do it.
Yep.
But here's the main question: are you saying stage musical or on-screen musical?
On screen.
Because that would be easier to make him.
Way to do it. Yeah, on screen all the way.
Okay.
Yeah. 50. What is your number 3?
Okay. This is where I have to apologize to Ben because I'm stealing his shtick. My number 3 is kind of a cheat, but you'll know why as soon as I'll say it. It's a sequel that was supposed to happen. I think something I think should have happened, but it's not a TV or movie. It's a video game involving movies and TV shows. So we're still staying around in the same
video games as a basis for my choice.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I forgot that video games counted. It's a sequel to Lego Dimensions.
Yep.
No. Fill on ground for you.
Yeah, it's a video game that happens to involve a lot of movies and TV shows. So if you've never played the game, basically this intergalactic dude, voiced by Gary Oldman, starts bringing all these different universes from different movies and TV shows together to collect these cornerstones of the universe in order to unlock the basis of all realities, which in true Lego form is a giant green plate that you can build stuff on because Lego. But that would give him the power to reshape reality in any way he pleases. And obviously he brings the DC universe and the Middle Earth universe, obviously the Lego universe, but it also combines it with the Scooby-Doo universe and Ghostbusters and Back to the Future and Doctor Who and Jurassic Park. So all these different things come together and all these characters from these different universes team up with each other. And of course, it's got to be the Doctor that sends them away because it's the Doctor.
Which Doctor?
Capaldi's Doctor.
Oh, Capaldi's in the game.
Yeah, that was the one in the game. He sent him away to a completely different reality. But when the game ends, there's a little post-credit scene of a random person, we don't know who, but he finds a brick container that looks like a piece of Lord Vortex's body, and he picks it up, and it just sort of almost like venom starts to take over his hand, and kind of implying that he's not really dead. And if I remember correctly, he was at one point supposed to be a playable character in that game because it was the reason why the game was canceled and it didn't succeed as well is because it was a Toys to Life game where you have to actually buy the characters in order to play them. A lot of people don't have that kind of money. So he was originally
supposed to go to dollar stores. That's what my buddy did.
I have most of them, but yeah, like I said, he was supposed to be a playable character, and it's such a cool looking Lego minifigure. It's like, show's not over, Jess. Show's not over. only by number 3. But to actually own him would, as a minifigure, as a playable character, would be incredible. And yeah, they didn't originally come up with a sequel first. They had like a 3-year plan where it was like year 1, year 2, year 3 to add more stuff into the game. They only did like year 2, and then they canceled it afterwards. So 6 years later,
It's time.
I mean, yeah, it's Lord Vortek must live.
Would it work? Would it work better as a non-Toy 2 game? Probably?
Yeah, I think so. I think that was their major downfall. I think if, of course, no, it's not. It's not a show. It's a video game.
Mhm.
Come on. But yeah, if they try to maybe even reboot the thing, we have a new Doctor now. We're about to get another one, so
A way to bring back Matt Smith as well.
Yep.
yeah, bring back all the surviving ones.
Even
And-
Eccleston would do it if it's got nothing to do with the BBC.
Yeah,
Bring back Tennant. He's not doing
course.
anything at the
Bring them all
moment.
back. I'll bring them all back.
you can even have David Bradley as the first Doctor now because
That's right.
it's a thing now.
Yeah.
Would you bring back companions? Which companions would you bring back?
For Tennant, I would do Donna because I think Donna's character would fit better in this type of environment than it would Rose or Martha.
Actually, yes. And you know what? Rose can actually fit well in this type of environment.
That's true. Rose as well. Martha, not so much. If I were going with Matt Smith, it has to be Amy and Rory because I think Rory would be a great foil in this environment. For Capaldi,
It's a video game where you can die and respawn all the time. So
there you
yeah.
go.
And from Capaldi, it would have to be Clara. I know how you.
Yeah, I mean, they had Clara in the first game, so
Oh.
Speaking of which, 50, I managed to clip this part out. It's one of my favorite lines from Doctor Who. These two have already seen it. I'm going to play it quickly now.
Dad, I'm 31. I don't have a Christmas list anymore. I do!
It's Rory's reaction of the thumbs up.
it's the look on his face of like, yeah, of course
we
you
got
do.
All right, Andrew.
And somehow any conversation that we have lately dissolves into a Doctor Who conversation.
Of course, because we all love Doctor Who, and Andrew is a fan as well, so it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring him on to the recap show.
Maybe the final full on recap. All right, Andrew, what is your number 2?
All right. Okay, Soda, you know the show, Stargate.
I'm familiar with it. Yes,
I
I used to drive by the movie studio all the time where they filmed the TV show.
Yeah, I absolutely was the hugest fan of Stargate. That was like one of my obsessions when I was younger, and I always wished, because I really like sci-fi tech stuff, so I always wished that they would make like a show where it was like set in the future of Stargate, like when basically Earth was like where the Stargate was fully like revealed to the world, and like all the tech from Stargate basically came to Earth, and it was like just like a setting where like basically the whole world just like goes out into the Stargate universe. That's what I always wanted to see.
That would be great one. Unfortunately, I've only ever seen the movie, but I am familiar enough with the property because, like I said, I used to drive by the studio all the time, and people at work would talk about it. So, that was a great concept. There's a lot of cool stuff in that universe that could be explored for sure.
Would you bring back any specific cast? Andrew, maybe.
Kurt
It
Russell.
depends on when they would set the show in, because I'm saying that I want them to like introduce this as like set in the future where all the tech is already integrated into the world. I'm not sure like how far into the future that would have to be. That might just be beyond the lifespan of the in-universe characters. But if they did do it during the characters' lifetimes, definitely would love to see the original SG-1 cast. Jack O'Neill played by Richard Dean Anderson.
Bring in Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can't remember if he died or not in the movie. I saw him when it came out in 1994. I was 7.
I loved Richard Dean Anderson as Jack O'Neill. He was really fun. Then there was Michael Shanks as Daniel Jackson, which was great dynamic between the two of them. And Amanda Tapping also did a really good job with it, as well as I forgot the actor's name for Teal'c. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But yeah, the original SG one was a really great cast, and if depending on how they would set up the timing for that kind of show, yeah, that would be. I would love to have them, not maybe as main characters, but like guest stars on it.
Actually, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, that's someone I'm surprised they have. That's a property I'm surprised they haven't tried to do anything else with.
I think
They just keep failing.
I think they're trying to manage rights issues.
Makes sense. Like Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Okay, so my number 2?
Yeah, Ben.
Yep.
Go ahead.
50 Shades of Late, which for some reason I misread as 50 Shades of Latte.
Me too.
Do they have that in Israel? I don't know.
Yeah, but there's a little thing above the E for a latte.
I know, but it's too early for me some mornings.
Okay. So my number 2 is a sequel series that takes place after Arrow. It follows a character that we hope. Oh, I just thought of another one that I would have loved to see, but I'll go with my first one. It's going to be a action, adventure, money for hire kind of thing. I want to see more adventures of Slade Wilson.
That's in my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
That was in my
best Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
I was thinking with my honorable mentions, but yeah, I think the last we saw him, he was going off to find his son, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they did that already. Didn't they go? Didn't they?
And I think he found him at one point.
Yeah.
He was the leader of a different Deathstroke gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I found, anyway, I want to see a continuation of from that storyline. Yeah, he said anytime, they named him on as an anti-hero / hero. So give him his own show. It would be fun. I love this character, love the actor. Give me more Deathstroke. I'll be happy.
So you'd want it as a sequel?
Yeah.
I was
100%.
thinking more along the lines of like more prequel type of show, like based off of Before the Island as well as Time Skip.
Yeah, and they do it in Arrow style where you show the journey afterwards, but you do the flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay, I'll take that.
That's pretty cool.
Like everything leading up to the.
Yeah, like they did with Arrow, correct?
Nice.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna go with Diggle as the Green Lantern show.
That would be cool too.
Yeah, but they're kind of hinting at that right now.
We're hinting at it and it's popping up. We're getting more Diggle on CW. We know.
Yeah. What show is it though? I can't remember. It's not Flash, is it?
He was on all of them.
Yeah, he's.
I know, but I mean, are we getting more of him, or do we just? I don't know.
Well, Supergirl hinted at him like changing his mind about the Green Lantern thing.
Oh yeah. And okay, so I did watch the Crisis, but I really didn't watch anything around it. Did Supergirl's world get merged into?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Flash and
They're all in the same
universe now.
Yeah. Which could be good and bad. No, get me started on the Eververse.
And they did have a bit of, and they had a tease at the end for the Wonder Twins. Just saying.
Yeah, they did.
True.
Yeah, they did.
Wonder Twin powers activate.
There's a
Warm
crossover
water,
happening actually
warm
in the
bucket.
beginning of November.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're having another crossover in the next couple weeks.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're desperate at this point.
Yeah, it
If
shows
you
the
know
kind of-
any of the, especially with the Batman and stuff, if you know any of the back,
That just came out yesterday, the day before.
yeah. Oh my God. Woo.
Yeah, definitely go read on that article, folks. We will not be talking about it here, but it's worth a read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it leads into why Ruby Rose left the show.
Yeah.
Oh.
So my number
Matt. Yeah,
is I want this to be a prequel series. I want to see how this character ended up becoming Shepherd Book in Firefly. Because we know he had a mysterious past. I want to learn more about that mysterious past. Now, they did explore it in the comic books briefly. They told his origin story, but I want to see that brought to live screen. Unfortunately, the actor has passed away, so you'd have to recast it, which sucks.
I mean, if it's a prequel, then he's going to recast it anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, but I think that's a lot of fun because essentially he was a killer before he became a man of God. So what I want to see is I want to see it end when he becomes the man of God that we know, Shepherd Book. But I want to see the exploration as to why he became the way he is. Like in this comic book, he was raised by an abusive father and he ran away from home and became a petty criminal. So I want to see what happens to him after that. Like, was he part of the war? Was he a bounty hunter? Like, what happened to make him Shepherd Book? I would love to see that explored in a mini series. I don't think you needed more than that.
Yeah,
you can get a bit of the war actually, and maybe a little bit hints of like Malcolm and whatnot.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, it's a really good idea.
Yeah. 50, you're number 2, my man.
Can anyone guess?
There we go.
Yeah, baby.
Can I take a shot? See if I'm right?
Yeah, I have an idea.
It's a prequel series about Mufasa and
Who's
Scar
Mustafa?
as teenagers. Shut up. No, as Mufasa and Scar as teenagers.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, I was thinking more in the direction of just Scar as the early days of being king, and Mufasa as the early days of being king, and Scar as leader of the Lion Guard.
Even better.
Or potentially at them as children with their father Ahadi as the king. And if you don't know the story, Ahadi was a very cold, very iron fist rule type of king, and he really kind of tried to drill that into Mufasa. Practically ignored Taka, which was Scar's name before he got the scar.
Mm-hmm.
And Taka's really only shining light in this dark, dim universe was his mother, Uru, who always tried to encourage him to do the stuff he wanted to do, try to be better. Obviously, that's when Taka decided to kill his brother to become the king. That's where he got his scar. In certain continuities, because yes, there are 2 different origins of how he got the scar, but that's how he got the name Scar. But I think that could be very fascinating, which really, really makes me excited for the Lion King 2, the live action version.
Wait,
where they're going to...
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's the first episode I've done on this show. I asked you guys to bring
I'm
me
a
on.
stoner and I don't remember shit.
I do. It's my first appearance on the show. I asked you guys to bring me on to talk about the Lion King prequel.
That's true, and I forgot. I'm sorry, okay? It's a lot's happened in the last 7 years.
Has it been that long?
It feels like it someday. The way the world's been.
But yeah, the upcoming live action sequel, they did mention it's going to really mainly focus on Mufasa, which you can still name it The Lion King because it's still true, but
we have to
call it The Lion King Rise of Mufasa or something like that.
We have to retire James Earl Jones, though. The reason I'm saying that is I think him as Mufasa didn't work for me in the last one, just because you could tell he's older. It just didn't work for me. That's just me,
dude. I thought he was still good enough for Mufasa in Coming to America too. True,
and
he sounded like a Mufasa.
An angry Mufasa, but I could be wrong. But that's just me, because I don't know. His voice work in the remake was not the same as it was in the original. I think the original comic book, the original animated movie, his character was more impactful. But again, that's just me.
Like I said, didn't bother me. But if we are going a younger Mufasa, maybe that's it'd
be a better. Get someone who's got a similar timbre, in their voice, but yeah, you would have to recast.
But you can also have him as old Mufasa, as
You
like
could.
at the end.
You can send it up like how they did the young Indiana Jones. So
Right.
that's me.
50,
Young
by the way,
Indiana.
you need to sell Jess on the Lion King reboot remake like you did me.
Give me 5 minutes with her.
Okay. All right. So now is the time for honorable mentions. So Andrew, what honorable mentions do you have?
Before I go into that, there was something I wanted to mention actually. I was wearing a shirt for, I guess, something that I guess inspired this topic for me for today. There was this one movie that I feel like was the thing that everyone was like really wishing for
Mhm.
for the longest time, and I feel like it embodies a lot of like in regards to just like wishful thinking about a movie that everyone just always wishes for and like always has the greatest like thoughts of how amazing it would be, and it was the one movie that really just popped off with matching expectations. One second. Do you
Deadpool.
recognize that?
Deadpool.
That's
The
Deadpool.
yes, as the perfect man. The virtuous man, Deadpool.
The virtuous Deadpool.
I just wanted to mention that. I meant to mention it at the beginning of the show, but yeah. I thought that was a movie that was very. I feel like a lot of people were waiting for it for the very longest time before that movie came out. And
Oh yeah.
And for when you wait for and have expectations like that, it doesn't usually match, and that did.
Oh, for you?
I felt like it.
Oh, not me, man. It got me right off the fucking bat with the
Yeah,
opening
the thing,
credits.
it was totally like.
Yeah.
Like,
I get it. I get it because we were waiting for it for like what 10 essentially after Origins, and with all the hype and the talk, we were building it up in our own minds. So I mean, I totally get that because it's happened to me with other projects. So Deadpool not being one of them.
All right, so honorable mentions. Sorry about that. All right. Obviously Ben already mentioned it, but Deathstroke spin-off for Arrowverse. I've talked to Ben about this a few times back in the days of Smallville. Booster Gold,
Yes,
played by
please.
Nathan Fillion.
Yes.
Member of the Booster Gold fan club right here.
Me and Ben have always talked about how Nathan Fillion would have been the greatest Booster Gold actor back when Smallville was going. Like this was
For
like
sure.
towards the end days of Smallville.
And if you're gonna do Booster Gold, do it like he did in the Jeff Johns run, where he goes and he saves people throughout time and space, but nobody knows it's him doing it, and they all still think he's the lovable screw up.
Yeah.
Great premise.
Yeah, it would have been really awesome.
Agreed.
That guy standing in the corner of the party in the meme. They don't know I save people all the time.
Yep, exactly.
All right. The next honorable mention I had was something I actually just came up with right when 50 joined us today. When I saw Pikachu
I'm sorry.
and some of the other Pokemon in the background. Technically, they made a movie about this, but it's not really. A Pokemon movie going into the backstory about Professor Oak, but about him becoming the professor that he is, not just his childhood. I thought that was an interesting.
There's
idea.
actually a lot to explore there because if you actually buy into some of the fan theories, and some of it was confirmed through Pokemon Masters, he had a tight relationship with Agatha.
Yeah.
During that time, and it's believed that in the title screen of the original Pokemon games, where you see Gengar fighting Nidorino, there's speculation that the Gengar belongs to Agatha and the Nidorino belongs to Oak, and that the Nidorino wins, despite not having a single move that's good against Ghost type. What?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I never knew that trivia, but yeah. So I thought I don't know, it just like came into my mind the moment I saw like the Pokemon plushies you have.
I have that effect on people.
And my last honorable mentions, okay, basically they're ideas based off of video games. I would love to see a series off of any of these 3 video games. Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah.
No. Indiana
Uncharted
Jones is not a
style.
video
That's
game.
the way to
Sorry,
do it.
there was 2 video games. Sorry, I don't know why, but yeah, Indiana Jones series basically. I would love to see a series based off of the Tomb Raider series of Lara Croft.
Mhm.
And technically, they gave us a little bit teaser of this last one, the Halo games, Master Chief. I'd love to see a series based off of that.
Eventually, it's been what in gestation for like over 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
All right, so that's my honorable mentions.
What about you, Ben?
Okay. 3 for me. I'm not you like some of these. Tess from Smallville.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
Tessa.
got a question about this because they did do a season 11 in comic books, and
Yeah,
what they
I've
did.
seen it.
The reason why I'm asking is because they turned her into that universe's Red Tornado. So it's like, do you want to see more adventures of Tess as Tess or Tess as Red Tornado?
Tess.
Okay.
I'm people.
A younger Tess.
Yeah.
A sequel series about Gunther from Friends.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe something you have him get all his feelings for Rachel because he's never going to get her.
Yeah, unrequited love.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to us, he
Brett-
secretly moved to where her and Ross live, and he's working at the coffee shop there.
And Brad from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, Joe Manganiello. Yeah.
That can be really funny.
Yeah, especially the Brad we got in the 2-parter there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I have one.
Oh,
But this
I have one
Sorry.
more. I'm sorry.
No
They
worries.
came to me when I've been talking to Spain. Give me a series about Anatoly from Arrow. It can be from the finale onward. About him working with the mob.
Okay. No, that's not bad. That could work. So I have one honorable mention, and it is a sequel to one of my all-time favorite movies. I want it set 20 years after the events of the movie. I want an Almost Famous sequel where everyone gets back together for a reunion tour and they bring on Patrick Fugit's character to cover it like he did in the first movie, and to see where the characters have gone in their lives and to see how much their relationship with each other has changed and if maybe they can come back to being the band that they set out to be. That's what I want for an Almost Famous sequel.
I like
I
that.
love that movie. Top 10 all time. Love it beyond pieces. I think that'd be fun because I know they do that in real life. They follow bands who are getting back together and to see how much the journey's changed. I want to see that with Stillwater.
Nice.
And what about you, 50?
Okay, I have 2. One, just something in the Back to the Future universe. I don't mean a reboot, don't mean a continuation, just a Back to the Future something. Okay, because there's so much you could do there. I understand why they're choosing not to, but just
set over my dead fucking body.
Yep.
that could be arranged. But
Hey,
I know they did a video game once and a comic book, but I don't know, just something of a concept, conceptually. Not obviously don't continue the original story because that story was perfect as it is, but just something that looks and feels and sounds like the
they
original.
did a TV series, right? Animated TV series.
Back to the Future.
Oh yeah, they did. It's Back to the Future. And it's an animated TV series. It came out after the third one. It's from the early 90s.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, I don't know how long it lasted, but yeah, it's a continuation. It's got Doc's family involved. The train time machines there. Oh yeah,
Jules and Vern,
yep.
Yep.
No, except one of them is not pointing at his crotch in the TV show.
of course.
You guys know that. You guys know that blooper, right?
How
Yes.
weird is that? How weird is that?
It makes no fucking sense. What was he trying to
He
say?
was trying to-
Go to the bathroom?
No, he was trying to goad Michael J. Fox because you can see he was looking directly at Michael J. Fox and he was like,
Smart kid. Oy, yeah, that was that's one you look at. It's like strange kid, very strange
Well,
kid,
there's that, and then
Why is
there's
Chucky
that-
possessing this kid?
right?
There's that, and then there's that scene at Teen Wolf, right before the credits.
Yeah, the
There's
guy with
somebody-
his Funchtucker hanging out. Yeah,
and
yeah.
And
You
isn't
look
that-
up and there's a guy like clearly doing up his pants in the final celebration scene.
And isn't Schnepp in that scene also, but not as that guy?
No, Schnepp is in Ferris Bueller.
Okay, okay.
He's in
My bad.
the twist and shout scene.
Yeah.
You have to look really hard, but you can actually find him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
my that's one of my honorable mentions. My second honorable mention, something that's sort of already in development, but it's
Pokemon Star Crossing Crescent.
well, yes, but that's just mine. But the idea that gave me the inspiration to do mine is this, which is Pokemon Blazing Bloom and Frigid Fog, sorry, which is already being turned into a video game. I just want to see like an anime, just like the anime series of Pokemon, just set in the Cascade region with Cascadian Pokemon, or rather Lokemon as they're called. So yeah, that stuff.
Right on. Right on. All right, so now's the time for the number ones. So Andrew,
All right.
lead us off.
So my number one, this is something I've been wanting for the absolutely longest time. I mean, over 2 decades at least. And I want this to be a TV show that will encompass hopefully a huge amount of seasons because I feel like it needs it. I want a Legend of Zelda TV series from the very origins of the of Link's first life to throughout the ages of Link, the hero of time, the hero of the various different series.
That would be awesome. That would.
You know what?
I'm surprised that idea hasn't actually been greenlit.
They teased it so many
I
times.
see what you
online
did there. Green, no.
Not on purpose, but
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like you like, I remember a few years back when someone like made a fake video, like someone was trying to make a little like live action Zelda movie or something like that, and everyone was like so hyped for it, but it was completely fake. Yeah.
no, that's a great concept. Great concept. I as like a TV series for sure. And or you could even go back in time and go around the time the Master Sword was forged.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh,
I would
gotcha.
want like his first life, like in Skyward Sword, or even before that, I guess technically. And then it would go to maybe like the development of Hyrule into a later season, and the or Ocarina of Time into a later season, and then it would. I don't know how they would go beyond that because it splits off the timelines into like 3 different ways. But yeah.
Michael, here's a question though. Will Link talk during that show?
Or would you rather have the fly going, listen?
No. No. Listen!
Oh, Jesus.
Fuck you, fairy! Listen! Which is one of my favorite moments from the Powerpuff Girls, when the mayor is actually playing Zelda on the Nintendo 64 in his office, and he accidentally kills the fairy. Wouldn't we all want to do that?
Yep, that fairy was fucking annoying. Here's a great to bank off of your TV series idea. Every season is a different era.
That's what I was thinking, like something along those lines. I'm not sure. Like, I feel like it'd have to be a really long season nonetheless, because those games can be really involved in a lot of storylines, like each era. So, but yeah, I mean, definitely at least up until Ocarina, from like Skyward Sword to Ocarina of Time, I would want. But
that would be a great one.
yeah. So Ben,
My number one. If you're a fan of Smallville, you'll remember in season 7 they hinted at a group from the past that consisted of Lionel Luthor, Andrew and Jennifer King, and I forget who else was it. The
Swan.
Swans. I want a Veritas show
That
about
would be-
adventures of them looking and finding out all about the traveler, finding hints, finding clues, but never found everything they need. Because obviously they don't know who the traveler is. But I want to see this. I want to see the attempt. I want to see these young characters go on adventures. It would be a fun adventure type show.
And you can have the Christopher Reeve character as like Chumbly, because he's always sitting in a wheelchair, sending the other three on different missions.
Well, maybe he got hit on one of those missions. Did he
Maybe.
never say how he got hit in the show? I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
So you can have him walking with everybody, being a lead adventurer. Something happens to him. It can be a season arc. And he had to learn and accept how to be the guy in the chair going
Literally
forward
the
in
guy in
the
the
show.
You just reminded me of something that I can't believe I forgot for this specific show. And a similar idea I had years ago of just Magneto after the war hunting Nazis, as we see
Yes.
very briefly in the First Class.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that would be good.
And obviously staying away from anything related to the X-Men, maybe hint it here and there, but that's the mission. I'm sorry for stealing your pick, but you just reminded me of that. But
Yeah. But, yeah, Veritas. Let's make this
and it's
happen.
also a great name for a show. Very.
It is.
Yeah.
It's also the name of my elementary school, Veritas School.
There you go.
You know what that means? Do you know what the word means, Ben?
Truth.
No.
Yeah, it is. It's truth. It's the Latin word for truth.
And it also stays within the Smallville shtick of being a one-word thing. And they can actually continue that on with the Veritas show. Every episode is only one word.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, Shona, you're number one, my man.
Who's here seen Supernatural?
A little bit.
Ben?
Just a little bit.
Screaming Natural. That's it.
50? Well, shit. Okay. One of my favorite characters to come out of the show was the character Charlie Bradbury, played by Felicia Day. In season 9, there is an episode where she helps Dorothy kill the Wicked Witch from Oz. And at the very end of the episode, she goes into Oz and disappears for a time. I want to see a spin-off series of Charlie in Oz, and this version of Oz set up in this, because she actually gets a romantic relationship with Dorothy. I want to see that time in Oz played out on screen.
So Dorothy, again, I guess things didn't go well with Red Riding Hood from Once Upon a Time.
Different show. But no, I think that would be kind of fun. You do the supernatural spin on Oz. It's kind of like, it could be similar to what they did with Tin Man all those years ago, where it's kind of like a steampunk version. But I think it would be great. You would infuse the humor of Felicia Day into this like abstract world and see where she fits into this and to see her struggles. Because at this point, she is a demon hunter. And for all we know, there could be demons in Oz, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I because when they killed off her character the following season, that's when I stopped watching. Because it pissed me off so much. Not because the show wasn't good. I was like, no, they killed one of my favorite characters. I would like to. So
Have you seen Game of Thrones, Soda?
This was way before Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I know, but it's just it's another show for killing off
one of my favorite Supernatural episodes. It's the episode where Dean Winchester discovers LARPing.
There is one gif I love Supernatural.
Is it the Dean Winchester?
No, it's
Great episode, by the way.
sometimes in crazy works. But then,
Yep. That is a great gift. There's a lot of great moments that come out of the show. Hands down, the blooper of Dean doing Eye of the Tiger.
yes.
Yeah.
Don't forget, he was part of that Veritas group.
That's right.
Yeah.
right.
Circle. Okay. I think I know your number 150, but what's your number
Take a
one?
guess.
Jenny.
No, because we already kind of got that. Sort of.
It's Doctor Who.
As Ben just alluded to, but what from Doctor Who? Because there's so many stuff you can do.
Strax.
No, that's your thing. But
Shut up.
technically,
How about
we get Strax and a bunch of stuff.
okay? I'm thinking maybe you want something about either River's song or the Doctor's granddaughter, or the clone of the Doctor,
Now-
Jenny daughter.
Are we talking classic or modern?
We're talking Doctor Who.
Thanks, 50. 60 years.
There is
of
no
time to
distinction,
choose
in
from.
my opinion.
60 years of time and space to choose from, and you decide to go vague.
All right, fine. I'll put you guys out of your misery.
Yeah, I can't think of anything because there's so much.
It's President Rassilon.
Oh, that would be
Ooh.
A young Rassilon with Omega and the other. The founding fathers of Time Lord Society showing their rise to power, their defeat of the Pytha, which is who ruled Gallifrey before they came along, and they banished her to the nearby planet of Khan, which created the Sisterhood of Khan.
Khan.
Oh,
But, and then obviously something that's a bit controversial, the creation of the looms and how Omega used the hand of Omega to detonate a black hole inside of a supernova, creating the Eye of Harmony, trapping himself in the process, and how they came up with the idea of time travel. Obviously, the other is the original grandfather of Susan, who may or may not was reincarnated as the Doctor a billion years later. Who knows? But and sorry to say this, but you can actually implement certain things that were recently shown to light and came to light with the most recent Jodie Whittaker series. Something that a lot of Doctor Who fans wish never existed, the Timeless Child. You can massage that a little
I
bit.
can't wait to get there to see what everybody's hating about because I haven't seen that.
you haven't gotten that far yet?
No, I stopped watching regularly after Capaldi's first season, and then I watched the first 6 episodes of Jodie Whittaker stuff because I had the channel free for a month. And that's all I've seen post Matt Smith.
I mean, I kind of skipped around with Jodie Whittaker's stuff, but I did watch what 50 is talking about. Mixed feelings, definitely.
I had mixed feelings too when I first saw it. I've since grown to accept it. I'm not saying I like it, I just accept it. And a show like that, showing the early days of Time Lord Society, you could have Tecteyun appear in the show. A lot of people are speculating that Tecteyun is actually the other. Some people are speculating that Tecteyun actually is the Doctor, and that the Doctor isn't really the Timeless Child, that the Master either got it wrong or he was lying for his own purposes. And who knows, Chibnall might do that. He might actually retcon that and say that the Master was lying about the Timeless Child. Who the hell knows? But there's so many possibilities you can do. And I'm shocked that they never went for a young Rassilon series. Not even in Big Finish.
Wait, because that's what I was going to ask. Would you bring back Timothy Dalton as Rassilon? But if you're going young, then you wouldn't.
I mean, Rassilon is a Time Lord. You can bring him back any actor.
I get
and if I remember correctly, and the thing is,
still alive.
No, but Timothy Dalton, he was Rassilon specifically for the Time War. More specifically for the later years of the Time War. Because he appears in certain books, and it's definitely the description of his face when describing how Rassilon looked like.
Okay.
So he's kind of like the John Hurt of that character.
Yeah, he's the John Hurt and Derek Jacobi of that version of the character.
Rassilon.
Yeah, War Rassilon. Rassilon the Resurrected is
The
how they're
War
calling him. War Salon. It's a salon of war.
Yeah. Can you
Oy.
imagine working in one of those? Oy.
Oy.
Well, all right, then. That brings an end to our list. And honestly, this was a great list. A lot of great picks. A lot of great picks.
I think they're the first, not one punt.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Been a while.
I mean, this is a topic that
It's been a long time. Oh, that reminds me of something. Oh, shit, damn it. I was going to mention this as my honorable mention, but Star Trek Enterprise, but specifically the years between the last episode of season 5, the penultimate episode of season 5, and the last episode of season 5. You heard, or rather, season 4, I can't remember. They cut the show in half because I guess it wasn't working, but yeah, you heard me. Between the penultimate episode and the final episode, there's a huge year gap because Star Trek. But yeah, the final episode, the penultimate episode is like Captain Archer's biggest victory or something. And then the final episode is like years in the future, and it's Captain Riker on the Enterprise looking back. Yeah, on the holodeck, looking at stuff that Captain Archer did years after the penultimate episode. It's a weird mix of things, but I mean that's Star Trek for you. You can't keep anything consistent.
I have something I forgot to mention in my honorable mentions. I want a sequel trilogy 30 years after the fact from Return of the Jedi. Give me new movies and I'll be happy. I'm kidding. Kidding.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
I was looking for one that wasn't on here.
Calm the fuck down!
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, no disrespect. All right, so that brings an end to today's event. It's my turn to pick. Just unfortunately, I had an idea and it completely went out of my mind. I will let you guys know when if I remember it, because it was actually a pretty good idea, but I thought of it like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, so thank you very much, Andrew, for joining us on the show. It was definitely great having you on. Great idea for a list. You're welcome back on at any time. So where can everybody find you? Where can everybody find you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you
I
have an
don't,
Instagram, anything you want to plug?
I don't do any streaming.
I don't exist.
Yeah, he's living off the grid.
This is my first ever stream.
You're kidding?
Nope.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. It's yeah, I just bit the bullet. Ben's been trying to get me to give it a shot for a while now.
Well, how do you feel coming off of your first stream?
It's been good. It's been fun.
Yeah.
You guys are great to chat with. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, well, it's definitely great having you. So Ben, where can everybody find you?
Oh, you're doing me first today. Okay. You guys can find me in a few hours on Mount Slowdown. The Slowdown show where we go into players' careers. Today we're going into Lady Justice herself. Not a long career, but the important one, so come join us for that. Every Monday with Matt and 50.
This guy.
And 50 and Alfred says. We camping space and time, shooting the breeze, get ready. Yeah, I think that's everything, right? Yeah.
Yep, that is all. And as for my 50, where can everybody find you?
Okay. When I'm not late,
I'll end with me.
When I'm not late to my own show, you can find me on my YouTube channel, 50 Shades of Geek. Later tonight, I will be reviewing Dune, which can't wait to see that. You can find me occasionally. Sometimes I pop in on Twitch, 58 Geek without the F. And you can also find me recapping the greatest show in the galaxy with these wonderful gentlemen right here every Monday. Occasionally I pop into Mount Modon. Let's talk about Star Wars. I just did like 5 hours out of the 7.5 hours all-night taco stand. And you can find also my Patreon, as sort of mentioned, Pokemon Star, Cross, and Crescent. I designed a Pokemon game based on Israel.
And as for myself, you can find me on my personal Instagram and Twitter at soda_the_saxman. You can find me on every show on this channel. Saturday nights, I usually produce the Star Wars show that is on here. Let's talk about Star Wars. However, because of the work schedule, we are taking another 2-week hiatus. But go back and check out Thursday night's all-night taco stand, which Taco does whenever he has to flip his sleep schedule. Myself, Ben, were on in the early part. 50, as he said, was on for 5 hours. Jess, who's in the comments, was hosting. There are some great guests. Ben Bateman joined at one point. Towards the end, Video Drew and Nerd Chronic joined. It was a great time. Every half hour, they broke down different kills from horror movies. It's looking like it's going to be a monthly occurrence, so definitely check that out. It's a great time had by all. So don't forget to like, subscribe to this channel, like this video, leave comments down below, and we will see you next week on Get Sweaty. Stay sweaty, folks.
Stay sweaty.